I'll fly, and I'll fly into the end of the sky. So I'll be the one who doesn't have to say goodbye.
Hello guys, I'm reaction of the My Little Pony Dark Mystery fanfic reading called Unmarked, Part 7. My Little Pony Dark Mystery fanfic reading. It's 35 minutes and 31 seconds long. And once again, I'm in it! Yay! I'm Dr. Coltstein. Dr. Coltstein. I always said it sounds like a mouthwash. But set that aside.
Seriously?
Brush my teeth. Okay, thank you, Apple Bloom. I kind of needed that. Well, we're going to get this reaction started in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, here we go. Into the reading. Do you like the piano music there?
The morgue wasn't very far from Coltstein's home.
No, it wasn't.
So the trip wasn't very long, mainly around 10 minutes. The building was surprisingly small, seeing death
Well,
was not a
they're normally
difficult
close to the
question.
police stations anyway, aren't they?
Scootaloo and Sweetbell's murders were the first murders to happen in a long time, because ever since Princess Luna had returned from the moon, security had been doubled throughout Ponyville and Canterlot. Celestia guarded during the day, while Luna guarded the night.
But who
making
guards?
any crime impossible.
What about, have you got the guards of it?
Coltstein
You got the guards
through
of
the double doors, presenting his badge.
That's
to
like
the mayor
a
at the
shop,
front desk.
not a morgue.
She didn't say a word, knowing that when it came to Coltstein,
Why do you need a bell on the door?
serious business. She entered the code to the door through the link device on her desk, immediately
Beep, beep,
following
beep,
a
beep,
beeping
beep,
noise and the door opening to the more private part of the building. Coltstein nodded his head, opening the door to a much colder section of the building. Cadwell was not used to morgues, so he started to shiver.
Why is it so cold?
He asked, shivering.
They keep the bodies from rotting.
To keep the bodies from rotting. If you'd rather wait in the lobby,
Be my guest.
Replied Coltstein.
Sorry.
Cadwell did not waste any time at the mentioning of exiting the cold room.
No, he
He
left.
darted back to the lobby.
what a rookie.
What a wimp.
Time to solve this case.
Once and for all. Sorry.
Said Coltstein. Coltstein walked down a long hall until he came to a pair of doors with a neon sign above it labeled Morgue.
Morgue.
Without hesitation, Coltstein pushed
Morgan
into
Freeman.
the doors, entering a room where 2 medical examiners stood above a body.
Sorry.
His entry startled both of them, causing them to stop working on the body. It did not take long for both of them to recognize Coltstein.
No.
Long time no see.
Good to see you, Bronston. And you too, Redheart.
Ship.
Dr. Bronston and Nurse Redheart placed their medical tools on a metal platter, covering the body with a light cloth.
Reminds
that made their way.
me of CSI a bit.
Indeed. So what brings you here, Coltstein?
I just cut straight to the point. I'm so close to solving the
The Unmarked case.
but before I can make any further progress, I need to see the bodies of Sweetie Belle
And Scootaloo, yeah.
Hoofman tried to friend his supposed killer by saying they died of blood loss due to slit throats. However, I know for a fact that
Bastard.
did that to try to throw me off.
Yeah, he was a bastard.
Hoofman lied through his teeth about the cause of death.
If he had any teeth
Their
left.
bodies, and no signs of trauma were found, especially slit throats. Their throats are completely intact. In fact,
That's a good Nurse
he
Redheart,
died in
actually.
a sort of
I do like the
confusion
Nurse
about what
Redheart
happened.
voice there.
Nothing was found in the autopsy as well. It's as if they died out of nowhere.
What about
Coltstein thought about Redheart's
what about the
statement.
toxicology reports as well?
No cause. I believe I know what killed them, but I like the bodies to determine if they meant anything that could relate to what I found in the case.
Does Demon have any, like, represent on the body?
But I still would like to see the bodies.
Redheart nodded her head, leading Coltstein to the bodies on the far side of the room. She uncovered
Like,
the
if
bodies
a
of
ghost
two
kills
Fillies,
someone,
both with a large
do you have
stitched
physical marks on your
down their
body?
chests.
I don't
Both were
know.
pale and as cold as ice. But
Is
Coltstein
that
didn't need much
sacrifice?
to determine what he suspected. He inspected Scootaloo first, looking over her small body carefully, and just like Redheart had stated, there was absolutely no trauma on the body.
I can just imagine that in my head now.
Next,
Them on the
moved over to
on that
Sweetie
like a metal
inspecting
table or
her
something.
closely. Once again,
Oh come on!
trauma were found, so he turned away from the bodies, trying to piece
Yeah,
together
Ponyhoof is not
what could
working
have
still.
possibly happened that night.
Think, Coltstein. There's no way that Applejack could have killed them. Because they didn't die of any sort of illness or trauma. How would those really die?
Yeah, there's no
Just when he was about to
physical
abandon his
link as
thoughts,
such.
he remembered a tip
with
that
Apple
he had
Bloom.
learned back in law school.
I cannot give up. I just need to retrace what I've learned. Okay, I learned that Applejack hallucinated the entire situation
Couple of chapters ago,
until the spoon.
just before we knew about Zecora.
But Zecora is the cause of the hallucination. She was possessed by Annie. Unmarked was before.
Was it Zecora? Was it Zecora's fault? Was it actually Cora's fault, or did she know of the side effects? Did Zecora know of the side effects of the medicine that she gave to Apple Bloom?
There's only two ways to become possessed by Annie. There was an unmarking that night of the murders, and she was drugged during each unmarking.
How does a ghost drug
All the evidence
Apple Bloom
together, Coltstein.
or a poker dice?
He thought hard about all of the evidence, using every bit of his past knowledge as a helper. A number of minutes passed before almost every bit of the evidence had become clear.
What's clear?
It would make sense. Apple Bloom and her friends went camping in the woods, where the witch's home is located. Apple Bloom
What woods though? What? And that wasn't specified, was it? The woods? There's many woods in the question actually. You got the other three boys. You got the white tail or something tail woods.
For being out in the woods too long, all three of them caught a cold, resulting in Apple Bloom going
Oh, is it? Must be every three boys then, hasn't it?
obtaining the medicine.
How big is every three boys, man? Goodness sake!
And not long after, resulting from the trip, hallucinated Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon, ripping out their chunk.
I understand if they hallucinated that part.
All three of them grew tired of volume, resulting in the first unmarking. However, it wasn't the medicine effect that caused him to feel as low as committed the unmarkings.
Yeah.
It was Annie's demons, which she took advantage of.
And these demons, is there more than one then?
Well, I was mostly vulnerable.
I thought it was just Annie. I thought Annie's one demon. Or does she like copy herself into two? Like, can a demon take many forms in terms of how our ponies see or something? It wasn't. Is it just one demon or demons? That suggests there's more than one demon.
On the bedroom floor, I noticed that her bow was missing. She searched and couldn't find it until she took a trip back to the clubhouse.
Yeah, that happened after hallucinations, didn't it?
And told Applejack continue the unmarkings. Otherwise, she would kill her friends. And agrees.
Well, kill the souls more like.
Night came. An unmarking took place. Applejack refused to listen to Annie anymore. And
Or try to.
Annie kills Quill and Scootaloo.
She's inside Apple Bloom, that's the thing. Annie's inside Apple Bloom.
Who was unmarked that night?
I have to say this, it's like a demon Voldemort inside Apple Bloom. Sorry.
Said to himself.
You got something, Coltstein?
Yes.
Yes, Bronston. Everything about this case makes sense, except for one thing.
Wait, do you know how these two died?
Thank you for your time. Now, if you excuse me, I have an important therapy session.
Ah!
Bronston gave Coltstein a strange look. Coltstein
Okay, it has been changed there.
Seeing he'd just confused Bronston and Redheart.
They don't know about the demons then.
Ready to end the madness once and for all.
Okay, they don't know about the demons.
Time to end this madness for good.
For good. They don't know about the demons. Okay then.
Coltstein
That's been
sat in
changed
his
since
chair,
the original
looking at
recording.
Applebloom.
Okay, that's
Her
been
name
cut.
was a
That
mess,
one,
and she seemed
a couple
more
lines
ill
been
than
cut
usual,
there.
raising a red flag for Coltstein, knowing that this session was going to be
Red
his
flag.
most
I haven't got
challenging.
one.
Annie was here, listening to everything that he spoke, and every question that he had for Applebloom that had to do with putting the case to rest. He knew that
Hang on.
Applebloom knew
That
he
thing
was
behind
incapable,
Applebloom is inside.
and he
That
was
thing
going to
behind
squeeze
Applebloom
the
is
truth from
inside
her.
Applebloom now.
This was it.
Or
His
is,
last
or is that her? Is that the
Yet
original
truth.
form?
Applebloom stared at him, fear within her eyes.
She's here, Doctor. I know she is.
She said in a frightened tone. Coltstein gave her an assuring look.
I know she is, Applebloom. I can feel her.
He assured. He
Oh
prepared
wow,
himself for the worst,
Mark, how could
grabbing
you?
the book he had come across in the Canterlot Library within his hood.
Oh, remember that?
Time to spill the truth, Applebloom. I investigated deeper in this case, and I know you ain't telling me the full truth. I also know how your friends died, and it wasn't you that did it,
No.
only Annie.
Applebloom could not hide anymore.
Yeah, back to
But
the
she's
library
afraid
scene. They
to
changed.
speak.
I'll talk about it after.
I only lied because I was too afraid to tell the truth. Annie said she'd kill me if I said anything.
I am aware of your struggles, Applebloom.
Shit.
But
The
if
demon
you
is kind of using Applebloom in the terms of,
I can assure you, you are safe.
if you tell, I'm gonna
Applebloom
make it
paused,
worse for you or something.
taking in a deep breath and letting it out.
Okay, Doctor. I'll promise to stay strong for you.
Good, Applebloom. Now, let me state something. I
Okay.
talked to your friend, Zecora.
Zecora.
And she stated that medicine.
Look, Coltstein, you more than just talked. You can't kind of beat the living daylights out of her.
But it wasn't because I wanted it. Only because Annie forced me to beg Zecora for the medicine. But she wouldn't tell me why.
The demon knows of Zecora?
Annie showed her true colors.
Wow, okay.
Coltstein was immediately intrigued. Annie presented herself as an apparition of something else before all of this chaos had started.
Okay.
He decided to question Applebloom further.
That means Zecora must know about the demon then.
Applebloom, what did Annie look like before she presented her true form?
She looked like any other pony. And she stated that...
Oh, like a changeling then.
Coltstein smiled. Applebloom was not holding back. She truly was going against Annie's demands.
It's
So he
basically,
proceeded
it's basically
with
like a
his
changeling then.
Where did
But a
you
demon
meet
changeling.
It wasn't just me, but Scootaloo and Sweeterbelle too. We decided to go crusading in a supposed haunted forest while we were on a camping trip. All three
But
of us
is it,
heard of some
every forest
We had
then?
to go looking for it to determine
If
if
this
it
is
was
haunted
real.
forest, which forest?
And found an old
Where is it
house.
on the map?
So being curious, we entered the house, said some chant that refers to the legend.
You know,
and Annie
this reminds me of the
said-
witches' houses
Where did you learn of the legend?
in Minecraft.
And who told you the chant?
Wooden structure really.
Very good, Applebloom. Why did Annie show her true form? What happened?
Applebloom hesitated, but knowing she had to be strong, she continued to recuperate.
Okay.
But I attempted to disobey her, and she had control of me.
Coltstein was intrigued, wanting to know more.
Applebloom is a
How did you
prisoner.
have control of
Really?
you?
Applebloom was silent, struggling to speak.
Come on, tell me.
I haven't been completely honest with you, Doctor. Something happened in that house, and I now see it's nothing but a greedy mistake on my part.
Coltstein noticed
That means the
Applebloom's
demon
voice
or
faltered
Annie
the
was
tone of
basically
a scared
invisible
child.
inside the hut.
He was concerned as he spoke to the scared filly.
What happened, Applebloom?
Her voice is now in the
Applebloom could
Left
see
ear.
that he was not kidding, so she swallowed all the fear that she had, and finally
Come on,
spoke the
Applebloom, be
truth that
brave.
Coltstein had been wanting to hear.
I made a deal with her. Told me that if I would be her friend,
It's like making a deal to the devil, really.
foolishly...
You don't make deals with the devil. Like the Simpsons, don't make deals with the devil because they can manipulate
Coltstein
you.
thought back to the clubhouse, where he found the 2 slabs of flesh on the table. Could that cutie mark have been Applebloom's?
What was the cutie mark?
Asked Coltstein, his tone growing more sincere. Applebloom attempted to answer, but was stopped. She had started to groan and struggle violently, immediately concerning the doctor. He attempted to help Applebloom, but was stopped.
The demon is inside her, you should know that.
Stay away, Doctor.
Coltstein did not know whether to follow her demand or to intervene with his only defense. He was shaking, watching Applebloom struggle against Annie. He had to be strong for Applebloom.
She's being possessed right
Too
now.
weak to fight against a demon.
Basically,
as powerful
she's
as
being
Annie.
possessed right now,
Coltstein could
Coltstein.
not take it anymore, grabbed the book, and shoved inward toward Applebloom.
Doctor, get back.
If you can't fight her, then I must!
He yelled, planting the book against
Wow,
Applebloom's
my
head,
acting, man.
followed by siblings.
Jesus Christ.
Applebloom let out a screech that nearly shattered Coltstein's eardrums. The screech was unlike anything he had ever heard. Even
That's that
worse
running
than
tap.
his first encounter with Applebloom's possession.
That's a running tap
The
to
room
me.
had started to shake, knocking books from their shelves. The clock on the far side of the room falling and breaking, and the only window within the
In the
room
polka dice.
shattering. The eyes of the young filly had started to glow, and her mouth had started to
If this was
blood.
Doctor Who, it'd be a bloody
Sight
cloister bell.
Coltstein, but he continued to hold the book on the surface of Applebloom's forehead, remaining strong for the filly.
Come on.
Coltstein struggled. as
Come on,
the
Coltstein,
screech
do something,
continued to
quickly.
shake the room, and Applebloom's
Boom,
eyes
boom,
saw
shake the room.
black liquid falling to the floor.
Sorry.
The liquid seemed like a blood, but it clearly was
That's
not.
that's Annie
The liquid
speaking now.
forming into what seemed like a large wall, closing around Coltstein. He wasn't sure what to do, but knew that he was in danger, continuing to hold the book against her forehead. The screech had become more mild, converting into a sinister laugh. Applebloom's teeth had become daggers, and her skin had become pale, all of her blood vessels visible.
Twyla's been
beneath the
affected by
skin.
this.
You can't save her, no matter what you do.
The voice was not Applebloom's.
That is fucking creepy.
Dark and grotesque.
Be silent! Listen to me, you must stop! I'm going to save her and remove you from the kingdom. You hear me? Speak out!
Commanded Coltstein.
Wow, Mark.
Harder against
Oh my god.
Annie shrieked as Coltstein continued to pressurize the book. Annie retracted as Applebloom returned to normal, scared and paranoid. The black liquid that had leaked from Applebloom's eyes had disappeared, and her teeth had reformed back to their original state.
Are you okay?
Asked Coltstein.
Are you okay, Applebloom? Tell me.
I don't know.
It's alright, Applebloom. You're safe now.
Both of them smiled, but just when all seemed safe, Applebloom started to struggle once again,
Oh dear.
her head turning violently.
Applebloom! Fight her!
Fighter.
Applebloom could not fight, and spoke quickly while she still could.
The cheating mark was an apple and a pentagram. It was the only way. I had to be unmarked.
Oh dear.
Coltstein felt her body fall to dead weight, staring at the innocent filly in his hooves. He wanted to fall to tears, but knew that he had to be strong.
Be
He
strong.
let out a scream, causing Daisy to barge into the room, noticing Coltstein's condition.
Doctor, are you alright?
Coltstein did not answer, setting Applebloom's dead body on the couch as gently as he could.
Is she?
Asked Daisy, noticing Coltstein's expression become more angry.
That's what Annie wants you to think
I can't
she looks like.
believe you let this end like this.
No.
Daisy looked at him, confusion in her gaze.
She's dead, Doctor. There's nothing you can do now.
How does the...
Coltstein shook his head.
No, she's not dead.
Listen to me. Daisy, get the 4 question crosses. Place them on every wall in her room. Shut the window in the room and escort Applebloom to her room.
Daisy did not know what to do. How could Applebloom be saved? She was dead.
How do you know?
Damn.
Coltstein had become infuriated.
Just trust me. I refuse to let this end in another death.
No.
just do what I say.
Yeah, you say Coltstein. You say something. You say it. You say it.
Are you sure?
That's what animals do sometimes.
It's time to perform the exorcism and prove to her innocence. I want this exorcism recorded. It's time to put Annie to rest. For good.
For good.
Daisy nodded her head.
I'll prepare everything. And I hope you're right about this.
He knows he's right.
Trust me. You may fool the others, but you don't fool me. It's time to end your madness. Forever!
He's mad. He's fucking mad.
1 hour had passed since Applebloom went limp in Coltstein's hooves, and the entire facility had gone quiet at the mentioning of an exorcism.
Basically, she's kind of unconscious or in a coma, and she's like, she's like in a coma state.
And rephrased a large number of prayers multiple times. Coltstein was afraid, but he knew that Annie was just playing with him, and he had grown tired of playing games.
Yeah, and he's trying to fool Coltstein, basically.
It was time to end this game of insanity once and for all.
Yeah.
As night approached, he took what could have been his last
trip. It's been too long.
To the bathroom.
I don't know, how many days
He
has
didn't
it
need to go
been?
1 or 2. He just needed a boost of confidence, seeing he had no idea what was going to happen.
You can do it,
He did know
Coltstein.
one thing.
What's
and
that?
That was that he might not live to see tomorrow. And he was going to push every bit of his strength to its highest peak, hoping for him to
Basically,
break.
Coltstein
But he had a life
is
to
willing to
save, so
sacrifice
the
his
outcome
life for
would
Applebloom.
give every bit of what he had to do it.
Is that, did I make that
Shut
right?
the bathroom door behind him, locking it, and stood before the sink, staring at his reflection in the mirror. Coltstein had heard that mirrors can work as gateways for both the holy and unholy.
Yeah, I think it's
So
called
he kept his distance.
scribing.
Annie was watching him right now,
Yeah,
and she could act when he least expected it.
yeah.
She could easily jump out of that mirror and take him to the depths of hell, or just kill him on the spot. There was no telling what would happen. He just prayed that Celestia Luna's guidance was on his side.
This is it, Coltstein. Your chance to make everything right. Your chance to put the monster to rest for good.
His words echoed within the bathroom, as he thought back to the times before becoming
Come
a
on.
private detective.
You can do it,
He had a
Coltstein.
sister. Her name was Dazzling Shores, and she wasn't the nicest pony, mainly a troublemaker, due to her influences not
A
being
troublemaker
best.
sister. Wow.
Coltstein was a keep-to-myself type of pony growing
Yeah.
up, usually studying on a daily basis.
That's like Dumbledore
He
as
attempted
well.
to lead his sister on the right track,
So-
but eventually gave up, seeing his attempts ended up being useless.
Yeah.
She usually tried to lead him on the wrong path, using trickery, and for that reason, he never had a relationship with his own sister. It wasn't until the accident that he truly realized how much he did love her.
It's family, man.
Coltstein was about 8 years old when it happened. He had decided to stay home to study for an event he had participated in at school,
Oh my
while
gosh.
his mother, father, and sister went out to see a movie at the local theater. One of the biggest
Yeah, the Harry
mistakes
Potter movie.
ever made. 2 hours passed,
Sorry.
and he was sitting on his bed when the phone rang.
Ring, ring,
The
ring,
one phone
ring.
call that he will remember for the rest of his life. It was the police, alerting Coltstein that his family had been killed in a drive-by shooting outside of the theater. All he remembered was dropping the phone.
The Mafia
and
then?
screaming so
Is it the
loud that
Mafia?
it woke the neighbors. He also remembered throwing the book that he had been reading, only to break a window, and punching a hole in the bedroom wall. He was eventually calmed by a neighbor that had overheard Coltstein's
Wow,
speech,
that means he
and
became an
was
only
escorted
child
to the
then.
police station, where he was cared for, questioned, and escorted to Canterlot Orphanage.
Oh my gosh, that is troubling for any pony or anyone. That is trouble. That's hard. That's like Harry Potter again. Sorry,
Ending in him
I
telling
have to mention Harry Potter
she
again.
were dead. He regrets ever saying those words, and hated himself for a long time for ever saying such horrid words. He looked at Applebloom as his
I believe
sister,
you're
and the
forgiven,
fear that had
Coltstein.
committed suicide
You're
inches from
forgiven.
his face.
And
And even though he had failed to
I
save the
predict
others,
that they're going to
This
contact
time,
you
He refused to let it
from
end
the
in
afterlife.
death.
You can do it, Coltstein. Do it for Dazzling.
He had started to cry, but quickly wiped away the tears.
No, no more tears. I must be strong.
Very strong.
Stronger than ever before. I cannot fail again. I must proceed. No matter what.
No matter.
Proceed!
Bloody hell, Mark.
Confidence had increased.
My
He
eardrums.
stared at himself in the mirror.
Oh, wow.
I must save her. Do it for that filly. Do it for Dazzling. Don't be afraid, Coltstein. You are stronger.
He felt confident
Much stronger.
as he took in a deep breath, turning from the mirror. The heaviness of Annie's presence was still with him, but he was not afraid. Not anymore.
It's time, Coltstein.
Just before he exited the bathroom,
Ah, dear.
he stated one last statement.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Dad? Dazzling? I'm sorry I couldn't say any of you, but I promise, for all of you, I will proceed.
You can hear the emotion in that voice, actually. Wow, I'm fucking good. Oh, what the fuck?
Daisy
Oh,
stood
goodness
at her
sake.
desk next to Apple Bloom, secured in a wheelchair
Oh,
designed to
God.
restrain whoever was sitting in it. Coltstein was not taking any chances at Annie escaping him, so he needed Apple Bloom as constricted as possible.
Yeah, don't let
He felt
Annie have the
horrible seeing
upper
Apple Bloom
hand,
strapped
so
a
to
chair,
speak.
as if she were a prisoner. But he just had to remember that this was not Apple Bloom. It was Annie using her as a shield, just as she had the past month.
I did as you instructed. The hills are completely
You need to break through the layers of...
Sure.
It's like a computer, break through the layers of protection.
Coltstein gave her a smile, kissing her lightly on the cheek.
I trust you.
The kiss surprised her
Shit.
as he attempted to turn away, only for her to pull him in toward her, planting his lips against hers. He
Shit!
did not retract, and continued to kiss her. He had felt as if all of his trouble lifted from his shoulders for just a second,
Wow.
but quickly came to realization of what needed to be done. He pulled away from her, feeling stronger.
That was...
Coltstein could not define the feeling that he had just experienced, so Daisy sugar-coated his feeling.
It was something you hadn't felt for a long time, Dad.
Love. Love.
Love.
Coltstein hadn't realized just how long it had been since he felt love in his life. Daisy had hit the nail on the head, and as a response, he just smiled.
Daisy, seeing you are a unicorn, I need you to do something.
Oh, the outtakes for that one. Wow.
She asked, noticing Coltstein grab something from his pocket.
Would you grab?
The spell at the bottom of this sheet.
Oh, yeah.
I need you to perform it when I tell you. It will transport me into Annie
You transporting your mind or your body?
for good.
Mind, body,
Daisy
spirit
expressed a
sort of
look
thing.
of worry, only to be quickly replaced by a look of confidence.
Very well. But on one condition.
What's the condition?
What's the condition?
You come back after taking that human stuff.
She concluded, shocking Coltstein. Coltstein nodded confidently.
Yeah.
I will.
He stated, as Daisy grabbed the
You
wheelchair
can do it,
and
Coltstein.
rolled it out of the room.
Do it for Dazzling.
The couple arrived just outside of Applebloom's room, where Coltstein signaled Daisy to stop.
Stop.
You put up the crosses, right?
Just as you instructed.
Good. Now, we need to be ready for anything. Because once we hit that room, all hell will break loose. Remain strong, no matter what.
No matter what.
Daisy nodded her head as she rolled the wheelchair closer to the room, already starting to notice a difference. The wheelchair was getting harder to push. The room was starting to vibrate, and an unpleasant sound was starting to fill the room. She continued to push until they were at the door opening, and immediately
Coltstein is
a demonic
technically in danger.
shriek erupted from
It's like,
Applebloom,
it's no point of no
nearly
return
piercing
sort of
the
thing.
eardrums
He's
of
in
Coltstein
danger
and
at this
Daisy.
minute. He's in danger.
She wasn't dead.
said Coltstein as he violently rolled the wheelchair into the room, noticing 4 video cameras set up in each corner of the room. All of them were running, due to the red light blinking on all of them. Coltstein entered, along with Daisy, shutting the door behind them. The shrieking continued to the point of where Coltstein and Daisy adapted, not being fazed by Annie anymore.
No.
Coltstein prepared to speak the equestrian prayer, hearing Annie speak in Latin as if she were in pain.
The prayer. Oh my.
Coltstein gripped a cross, while Daisy held the wheelchair in place.
Well, in my case,
The
grip a
entire
mic.
facility was shaking as Coltstein prepared to recite the prayer.
By the sun's shine, the moon's light, as shadows cast, and the night sky, the mortal rose of day and night, creating peace upon pony kind.
Coltstein thrusted the cross toward Annie, causing her to growl.
What sort of cross is it though?
Was
It can't be a
sinister,
cross
but
as
Coltstein
in
remained
as our
strong,
cross.
thrusting the cross closer to Annie's face. Just like before, Applebloom's teeth had changed to daggers. Her eyes had went pitch black, and her pupils were blood
Wow,
red.
don't get cut, Coltstein.
Coltstein could see that he was affecting Annie, so he continued.
Shadows created darkness, darkness created evil, evil created disorder, disorder was zeal.
Sealed!
Annie continued to struggle, desperately trying to get out of the chair. Coltstein almost had her, and with only a few phrases left,
Come on,
he had to push her to the point of manifestation.
go for it.
Continued, struggling
Go for
to
it.
keep his
Go for
balance
it.
due to the entire
Come on.
facility shaking.
Through the power of the sun and moon, harmony was created of 6 elements: laughter, honesty, loyalty, generosity, kindness, and magic.
Yes.
Rephrasing the elements caused Annie to struggle violently, releasing a sinister moan.
I'm surprised we're not getting a situation. You got bloody rainbows going around, or rainbows go around.
Coltstein was close,
Annie.
So he spoke the last bit of the prayer that would lead to the next step.
With harmony, peace came to extinguish the wicked with the elements. The mortal created friendship.
Annie shrieked so loud
Okay,
that the room felt as if it were going to collapse.
It wasn't that
following
loud.
a sick-sounding moan. Coltstein signaled Daisy to be ready for the spell, as he spoke the final phrase, hoping for Annie to manifest herself within Applebloom.
Annie of the wicked, I have the power over you.
Of course he
Show
does.
yourself.
Ow.
The
Fuck.
room suddenly stopped shaking, and Annie had gone silent. Coltstein continued to hold the cross toward Annie. He heard a sinister laugh erupt from Annie. She raised her head up, looking directly at Coltstein. She continued
Reminds me
to
of
laugh in her
Hectodecibel from
manifestation
Reboot.
as Coltstein examined the evil that had plagued him for so long, now fully visible to him for the first time. Her eyes were pitch black with blood-red pupils. Her teeth were daggers, chipped and deteriorated.
What do you expect?
Her
He's a
flesh
fucking
was
demon.
pale yellow, with all the blood vessels visible, and her tongue was long and thin, much like a serpent's.
Snake.
Here I am, Doctor.
Is it a snake?
How do you do?
Said Annie, wobbling her head around, attempting to anger Coltstein. Her voice was low, raspy, and sinister. But
Yeah.
Coltstein did not answer, only stared at the demon, unoffended.
What's the matter, dog? Cat got your tongue. I'm sorry we must know about this, but I've loved to torture your ass ever since I killed that pathetic little nuisance that night.
It's
She
fun.
was
It's
attempting
fun
to
as
anger him,
or
but he kept
manipulate.
his anger level at 0.
Harry Potter again
to stare.
with the Horcrux.
Oh, how long I've wanted a vessel, and thanks to you, I now have one. You can't save her anymore. She's mine now.
That's what you think.
I've won. You've lost. Her soul is mine forever. You can't win. She's gone. You'll never get her back.
Fuck, that's creepy.
Annie erupted a sinister laughter, but Coltstein remained calm. Annie continued to
very
laugh
calm.
as Coltstein finally spoke to his adversary.
You're right, Annie. I cannot win. Not like this. However, I can win
Another way. Yes, you can.
Daisy, now!
Now!
Daisy did as he commanded and cast the spell, immediately sending him
What
into
was the spell,
depths
though?
of Annie's mind. He fell from a pitch-black sky and landed on the hard ground, where he struggled to catch his breath. He quickly remembered where he was and stood up from the ground. Coltstein took a minute to study his surroundings, which was the outskirts of a foggy forest.
Welcome to hell, Coltstein.
He said to himself, entering the void of Annie's mind. The forest where she lived.
To be continued! That is a good, I did like, Nose Redheart there. Okay, that's the end of that. So I didn't turn the light off, but that was gripping. That was actually a good story. And you can hear the emotion. You can hear the emotion in Coltstein's way of talking, especially when he was talking, when he was saying sorry to his mum and dad. One question I was actually asking, like, where is this voice? Where is this voice? Because it's not a, if it's not the Everfree forest, it's not the Whitetail Woods. What woods must be? Where do you get the woods from? What I know it's an alternative universe, but I don't know. I'm sorry I'm mentioning Harry Potter references. Goodness sake. Especially the last one is like when the Horcrux in the locket was trying to anger Harry, and Harry was that had that sinister voice. Nurse Redheart's VA, she was good in his reading. I would have hoped it actually had more lines, but that was good in that's in there. Is it Bronston? Bronston was good. I noticed as well there were some lines that were cut. I did notice they didn't mention the word demon to Bronston and Nose Redheart. I don't know if that was a mistake or that was a last minute plan, because I remember recording a demon or demons, and it looks like that line was cut, and that kind of deepens. I understand they would be confusing. Huh? What? He knows something that we don't. Coltstein was getting into real danger there, because Annie was at its strongest level in terms of you trying to push the wheelchair, and you get like a invisible force, and you can't push it in. What happens when you replay that footage? Will it be like a shadowy figure behind, gripping the thing or something? It sounds like an episode of Doctor Who. No, more like X-Files than Doctor Who. I did mention a Doctor Who reference, and that's another thing. Now Coltstein is now in hell, and I think I know what's going to come in next. Oh my gosh, I got to. I'm sorry, guys, if my acting burst your eardrums, because some lines were kind of loud, especially when I first recorded it. Poor Sparrow have to edit my lines. You asked for it, and you're gonna get it. You want Coltstein to be angry? I'll be angry for you. I'm not afraid to be angry. Oh dear. And I can't believe how long this project's been running for. Okay, it's 7 parts, but we started this recording. That started like chapter 1 or part 1 in 2016, I believe, and we're in 2018 and we haven't even finished. I was like, oh, what? This has been an amazing project I've been a part of. it's helped me as a VA as well. It's really helped me as a VA. I don't want to give spoilers how I did some. It's little things when you're doing VA work. So I'm not talking about the actual reaction, but it's kind of connected. When you're doing voicing for Coltstein, to be a good actor, you need, or good VA, you need to add emotion. You need to sound like you're pissed off with something. Like I'm pissed off with Annie. Okay, when I'm like you're talking to Apple Bloom, for example. Sometimes holding a plush of Apple Bloom helps, like I've done in in the other chapters. And it's not easy, actually. It's not easy doing these sort of things. But once you get to do it and 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 do it, you get better and better and better. I'm still surprised I can hear the emotion in Coltstein's voice when he's saying sorry to his family. You can hear it, man. I can actually hear it. And that's why I thought, Adam, how can I say sorry to mum and dad? You need to change your voice in a certain way. You need to change it in a certain way. You can't say hi, dad, because like, that sounds like he's in front of you. But when you're doing the I'm saying sorry in the terms they're dead. Dad. Say, I'm looking up. You can't hear that, but you might be able with the manager. Dad, I'm sorry. Sorry for everything. But I will. Yeah. You see what hopefully you see what I'm getting at. It's the small things that makes a difference. Especially when I did acting crying. things I do with in my VA work to make it sound convincing. Things I do, man. I believe the reason I getting better and better with VA work because I did Night of the Flutterbat. I recorded 10 chapters for Lunar Pony. Okay, the first... maybe lucky yesterday, man. 2015. And by probably chapter 6 or 27, I can't remember. You definitely can tell the improvement I was going through in terms of VA work. And VA work it took a lot of my time because it's hard work. It is hard work doing like voiceover. It's even hard work just to do VA work, but you're just doing one character. With voiceover, you're doing multiple characters, and each have its own merit and ups and downs. I did get a cold when they're doing some of the chapters, but as someone said, if your voice is not hurting, you're not working. You need to basically go to the height of your voice sometimes. You need to... If the chapter says you have to be angry, you be angry as fuck. Okay? And that's why there's people say it's fun playing villain characters because you can shout as much as you like, Princess Twilight! Something like that. I've been rubbing for too long here. Stay tuned for part 8, which I don't know when it's going to start because this has only just been uploaded. It's going to kill my vocal cords, or not kill them, but it's going to make them bloody sore when I do chapter 8. I don't want to give away spoilers because I haven't done that recording yet, but it's going to be a fun ride, or fun voicing Coltstein, and it'd be sad to see him go. It'd be sad to see Coltstein go. It's been an amazing adventure for me, and thank you very much for listening to this reaction. Thank you. Hope you like this reading because this has helped my voicing of VA work in a great deal. Well, hope you like this reaction or my reaction videos I do, and I'll see you next time. Oh yes.